All right, so we're gonna start off here with the 1950 wheat penny. All right, so this coin is pretty common coin. So if you have a 1950 and, you know, regular circulated condition, it's all scratched up, beat up, you know, it's not really that valuable if it doesn't have any types of mint errors or if it's not in very good condition. In this case here, this coin is in excellent condition. It's graded at a mint state 67 plus red. So that's where all of the value comes in at for this specific coin, and that's why the coin sold for over $4,000. So keep in mind when you guys are getting coins like this graded, you know, you really want to look up the grade population for each different coin. You can do that on pcgs.com. It tells you, you know, what these coins sell for at different grades, so feel free to check them out. Now here is a 1950 D mint mark. Now this is graded by NGC, and it is a mint error. It's graded at a mint state 63 red brown. You can see that the coin has been broad struck. You'll see that around the rim of the coin. This wheat penny ended up only selling for around $23, so not really worth having graded if you're trying to resell these coins, because it's going to cost you more to have something graded like this than you'll actually get out of it. So keep in mind, some coins are worth grading, some not so much. All right, so here's a 1950D. This is the same as the first coin, so I'll go through it very quickly. Its grade is where all of the value is at. The only difference from the first coin is that it is the D mint mark, not the no mint mark. So mint state 67 plus red grade. This penny sold for over $15,000. So let's move on here to the 1950 D mint mark. That was broad struck out of collar, and it was double struck. So we'll see that double strike there at the bottom of the link in wheat cent here, and this coin ended up selling for around $95. It's also graded at a mint state 65 red brown. So we have a video that tells you the difference between red pennies, red brown, and brown pennies, so feel free to watch that video. I did like a 30-minute coin grading video here on my channel, so just type in Couch Collectibles coin grading here on YouTube and you'll find that video. Now this is a 1950 D mint mark that was struck 20% off center. You can look for off centers on all kinds of different coins, even modern coins, and you know, some will not be as off center as this, some can be more off center than this. So keep that in mind. This coin sold for over $180. Here's another example of an off center penny from 1950. It is the D mint mark, graded by PCGS at a mint state 63 red, struck 60% off center, and this coin sold for over $225. Some off centers are going to be very common. You can get, you know, a lot of them in, you know, circulated condition on eBay for fairly cheap prices. So, you know, it all depends on the date and things like that and the condition. All right, so here's a 1950D that was struck onto a 10-cent planchet. Of course, it's going to be a silver planchet. Unfortunately, whoever had this coin cleaned the coin, so do not clean your coins. That will definitely take away from a lot of its value. Now, this coin in particular still sold even in this condition at an extra fine 45, graded by Annex Coin Grading Company. This coin still sold for over $430. So here's how many they made in 1950. You can see that they made hundreds of millions of these coins. So they're not value in terms of how many they actually produced, but rather the high grades and the mint errors. All right, so here's a 1950 S mint mark. So we got the no mint mark, D mint mark, and S mint mark. This is the same as the other high graded coins. That's where all of the value is at, the mint state 67 plus red grade, and that's why the coin sold for over $9,000. Can't beat that. Now on your S mint marks from 1950, you want to look for a repunched mint mark. So here's an example, a couple examples of that. You'll see that really they're at the top of the S here on this one. And yeah, so use your coin microscopes. I'll have them in stock very soon. So I know a lot of people have been sending me emails about those being out of stock. So we'll get those back in stock on couchcollectibles.com. But always be on the lookout for the RPM Repunch mint mark. Here's an example of that coin. It does have a high grade as well, graded at a mint state 66 red. So, you know, the grade, of course, the condition is going to have a lot of effect on its value for this coin, and you add in the RPM, you know, that helps it as well. So this coin ended up selling for around $115. Here's some other pennies that are worth money. Here is an image of a repunched mint mark, an S. So a San Francisco minted 1940. This is actually on the 1938, but we're just using this as an example. So look for these S mint marks that are repunched on the 1940 wheat penny. You can see on this one that it's repunched just north, right above that S there. Now here is a 1940 wheat penny that has that repunched mint mark. That S mint mark is repunched, so that S mint mark will be right underneath the date there. And this coin sold for over $70. Now also, you want to look for a double die obverse. So you want to look for doubling on the front of the coin of the 1941. So here's an example of doubling on a wheat penny. You can see that the letters there are doubled. The phrase "In God We Trust," as well as the word liberty there, is doubled also. So here is that 1940 penny, or the 1-cent coin, that has that double die obverse doubling on the front of the coin. Now this coin is also graded at a mint state 67. So this coin here sold for over $175 because of that double die on the front of the coin, as well as the high grade. Next up, on the D mint mark. Now there's 3 different examples I have here. If we zoom in there, you can see that this D mint mark has been repunched. You can see it right above the top of the D, there towards the bottom left, and inside of the D that is repunched. Now in this example, you can see the same thing as well, a repunched mint mark. If you want to see your coins up close like this, I do have USB coin microscopes available on couchcollectibles.com, so feel free to get one if you are a big coin searcher and you want to search for these types of things on your coins. Now, here's another example of that. Now if we zoom in here and look at the top of the D, you can see a whole nother D there has been repunched. So that is pretty awesome. Always be on the lookout for the RPM repunched mint mark, both on the D mint mark and the S mint mark for the 1940 penny. Now here's a 1940 D that has that repunched mint mark. It only sold for a little over $20, so nothing too crazy, but still it's a $20 penny. Here's a 1940 no mint mark. Now this coin does not have any types of errors or anything like that. It is solely valuable because of its high grade. It's graded at a mint state 68. Like I said, the coin grading scale only goes up to 70, so 68 to 70, you ain't got far to go. It's a very, very high grade, nearly a perfect coin. Now this coin here, because of that high grade, sold for over $11,500. $11,000 penny. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle, check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.